Hi, everybody, and welcome back to Power Tips. Today, we are going to talk about AI prompts and how we can use them in the Power Platform. So first of all, what is an AI prompt? Well, it's a great way to use natural language to build your own AI models without coding at all, which is awesome for people like me who don't know code. You can include input parameters that are either text or files, and once you create these AI prompts, they're available for you to use in Power Apps, Power Automate, and even Copilot Studio, because you can save your AI prompt as a plugin to extend Copilot. So if you need help getting started with writing prompts, there are definitely some rules that you should follow and some suggested best practices. Microsoft has made it even easier for us to optimize our prompting by using the AI Builder Prompting Guide. It's a free download. I have the aka.ms link here and a screenshot of one of the assets within this guide, which is actually super helpful. They have what they call prompt ingredients, which is what you see in the screenshot. They have multiple prompt strategies, which are really interesting, and a really handy cheat sheet giving you the do's and don'ts of prompt creation. So I think that is a super helpful guide if you're getting started or if you're not getting the results that you expect to see from the prompts that you build.
And then once you start using these, there are some benefits. So kind of relates with what Heidi already talked about, but of course the ease of use, like we said, you can pull these into your Power Apps or Power Automate and basically be getting all these AI generated answers, all point and click, right? Customizable, so you can continue to change these and refine these. You can test them right in there in the editor. Something we also forgot, or I forgot to call out on these slides, is that we can also ground this data with data in Dataverse. So you can link it up with a Dataverse table that can be used in the prompt. And we said you can put files or documents in there. So, and you can use that to process those documents without building another AI builder model. So you folks know that I love AI Builder and I love building those document processing models, and the invoice model is great, but now you can do all of that right within a prompt. So you could put in the file and then in your prompt say what specific data points you're looking to get, and you could even define the output of how you want that data to look. So I want to talk about a kind of an example that we're using within my organization to try out some of these AI prompts and try and use AI to get some more value for our customers. So we have a process behind the scenes that's capturing the details of the release notes. And then what we want to do is take the release notes and get them into a format of what is actually valuable to our customers, right? So that we can kind of communicate that with them and help them to view it. So we're capturing those release note details. And when that comes into our Dataverse, we have a process running on Power Automate that's taking those details, throwing it into an AI Builder prompt to generate a summary. And then we'll have some manual processes behind the scenes to have experts reviewing those and adding some color and checking that. So that's something else that we talk about a lot with AI, right? Is the importance of being able to, or importance of still having a human review the results, right? And we don't want to necessarily act on all of these items without having a human somewhere in the loop, right? And so we're including that to make sure that someone else is reviewing these explanations before they go out. And also we want to set, how valuable this is, or possibly set things that are more relevant to the industry. So here's just a little bit an example, right? So the prompt is the top half, and then the bottom half is kind of a test output, right? And so you can see here, basically what we're saying is we want to take these release features and I want to give it all of this data. So all those things in purple are input parameters. So those are things that we could pass via Power Apps or Power Automate into the prompt, right? And so we're providing all of those details from the release feature, and then I'm saying exactly what I want. I want a short paragraph that doesn't necessarily need to include the same details in here. but I want it to tell me what's important about this feature and why my clients should care about it, right? And then it gives me a kind of little paragraph there that I could edit and change in our dynamic system. So lots lots of flexibility here, and we can continue to change and refine this. And you see where that little add button is. I could actually add additional items there if I wanted to relate this, like I said, to a Dataverse table, or if I wanted to be including an actual file. And I want to talk about this a little bit because I think it's a bit interesting, right? You'll see now on some of the release notes, they actually say that this content was partially generated by AI. And then what's happening is they're expanding it from probably some developer notes into a nice AI summary. Then we're grabbing it and we're saying this is too much, and we're putting it back through a different AI model to shrink it back down. And I just think it's kind of interesting how we basically have these robots who are talking to each other, but trying to get the same information to our customers. So, but yeah, Heidi, what do you think about these, or how do you think you could use prompts in the future?
Well, I actually think this is a brilliant use case, and a lot of organizations can probably relate to it. Like you have something that is too much information to consume. Not too much, it'll just be too time consuming for you to sit down and go through it all. And this is a nice way to get a really tiny summary. So, right off the bat, I'm thinking of like HR forms that come in for new hires and how that might be a lot for you to read if you're the new hire. You can write your own little prompt here to be like, hey, just give me a summary of what I'm signing and what I'm doing. I just think there are so many different ways an organization can use this. Anytime there are big files, I think this is an
Mhm.
awesome thing. And I love your example of the file, just clicking the add button here, uploading a file or two or seven, and kind of using that to tailor the prompt to your specific requirements. I think this is really, really neat. Now, question for you, since you guys are using this internally, how accurate have these prompt responses been when you get to the expert review?
We're still new in the process, so we haven't got to the stage of actually getting all of our experts in there and doing all the reviews. In the ones that I've checked, they've been pretty accurate and kind of pulled out the key information from kind of the business value section of the release notes. So I found them pretty interesting. The hard part is a lot of this includes like the latest release wave introduces, right? So there's a little bit of repetitiveness there, which I haven't
Mm,
figured out how we can kind of clean that out in the best way. But the goal is to combine this with a few other pieces, right? So we'll be kind of associating each release item with a product, and we'll assign an expert to that product so that we can assign that specific piece of item to different experts and kind of divide it up. So we have a great plan of how this is going to work, but still need to get all the buy-in to do all of that. But I think
yeah,
it'll be really interesting.
this is a great use case. Even in
Yeah,
the screenshot you have here, that prompt response looks pretty accurate to me. So
yeah,
nice job. Thank you for showcasing
yeah.
this and sharing it with us.
Yeah, and I'm really excited to see where the AI prompts go. And it's going to be interesting to see what impact this has on the other AI builder models. So I think there's still a time and a place for those, but more and more we can use the prompt instead of the full model to get just the data we need and kind of make it more tailor made, and as long as we can trust the generative AI. So lots of exciting things that we can be doing in there. So that's what we had for you guys today. We just wanted to talk a little bit about AI prompts and some cool things that we're doing with AI prompts. So please let us know down in the comments if you're taking advantage of this new technology, on how you're using it, or any other examples or questions that you have. Thanks so much.